In a world that's always evolving, where challenges come at the speed of change, resilience isn't just a buzzword, it's the foundation for growth and success. Welcome to Real Resilient Conversations.
Every second and fourth Monday at 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, we bring you transformative discussions designed to build strength through dialogue. Whether you're a leader aiming to inspire, a team striving to collaborate, or an individual professional seeking growth, Real Resilient Conversations is your guide to thriving in today's dynamic environment.
Our mission is clear: foster emotional resilience, cultivate transparent communication, and empower businesses to adapt with confidence. Through our resilient leadership coaching, we don't just talk about resilience, we live it, lead it, and help you achieve it. When resilience becomes part of your culture, every challenge is an opportunity, every setback a lesson, and every team member a leader in their own right.
Real Resilient Conversations isn't just a show, it's a movement, a mindset, and a community dedicated to helping you and your organization thrive. Tune in every second and fourth Monday at 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time and see the difference resilience makes. Be part of the movement and join the conversation live. Watch us on Twitch, Real Resilient Convos. Follow us on Facebook, Real Resilient Conversations with Quita. Get inspired on Instagram at Real Resilient Conversations. Catch our videos on YouTube at Real Resilient Conversations. Wherever you are, Resilient Conversations is just a click away.
Real Resilient Conversations, leading by example, building strength one dialogue at a time, because resilience isn't just what we do, it's who we are. In a world that's always evolving, where challenges come at the speed of change, resilience isn't just a buzzword, it's the foundation for growth and success. Welcome to Real Resilient Conversations.
Every second and fourth Monday at 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, we bring you transformative discussions designed to build strength through dialogue. Whether you're a leader aiming to inspire, a team striving to collaborate, or an individual professional seeking growth, Real Resilient Conversations is your guide to thriving in today's dynamic environment.
Our mission is clear: foster emotional resilience, cultivate transparent communication, and empower businesses to adapt with confidence. Through our resilient leadership coaching, we don't just talk about resilience, we live it, lead it, and help you achieve it. When resilience becomes part of your culture, every challenge is an opportunity, every setback a lesson, and every team member a leader in their own right.
Real Resilient Conversations isn't just a show, it's a movement, a mindset, and a community dedicated to helping you and your organization thrive. Tune in every second and fourth Monday at 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time and see the difference resilience makes. Be part of the movement and join the conversation live. Watch us on Twitch, Real Resilient Convos. Follow us on Facebook, Real Resilient Conversations with Quita. Get inspired on Instagram at Real Resilient Conversations. Catch our videos on YouTube at Real Resilient Conversations. Wherever you are, Resilient Conversations is just a click away.
Real Resilient Conversations, leading by example, building strength one dialogue at a time, because resilience isn't just what we do, it's who we are.
There it is. There it is. Welcome. What up? What up? What up? It is Monday. Welcome. I know that we got Miss Quita. His name is not Miss Quita. I promise you. His name is not Miss Quita. I am your host, Miss Quita. Welcome to your end of month fill up. Guess what? I come every second and fourth Monday, just in case you didn't know. Where we use quirky topics, unique ways to show you how to become a more resilient you. And how we do this is just what makes you unique and what makes you prepared for life's challenges, its ups and downs. And so because my assignment is here to empower you, to encourage you, to motivate you with laughter, knowledge, and joy. So whether you're alone, you're cuddled up, you're single, it doesn't matter if you're watching it live or rebroadcast. Thank you so much. We are honored that you have chosen to take time out today just to learn a little bit more about how to become a more resilient you. Now, by you being here, of course, you gain valuable insights, you gain knowledge, you gain support for your own personal growth. And so your growing journey, it is, with that being said, if it is your first time with your growing journey, we thank you so much for taking the time to join us. So I'm honored that you come to visit. Take the time out to go ahead and get you some snacks, kick your shoes off. If this is the type of teaching you enjoy, do me a favor, like, share, subscribe for more content just like this. All right, so now that we've got got it down packed. Oh, that's all right. We're going to work on, if you are watching on Instagram, you're having some issues, come on back, go on over to YouTube, go to Facebook, go to Twitch, go to LinkedIn. I'm sure you'll be able to get in no matter what. All right. Woo. Make sure you hit the notification bell. That way, when we do get it back up and running, y'all won't miss out. That works? Okay. So I'm going to ask you all to tell me. I know that you know that today's topic is about back to school. Give me your perspective of what back to school means in essence when you're talking about from a resiliency standpoint in that perspective. Now, put that in the chat while I'm doing that. Hello, Mr. Gordon. Thank you so much for joining. I'm so excited to see you. Mr. Ron Gordon of WSAN Radio. Thank you so much because you are a valuable part of this team as well. All right, so I know that you see this nice, handsome man sitting beside me, and you're like, he is not always there. So let me introduce him. He is a father, entrepreneur, motivational speaker, and awesome man that loves to empower the youth, the community, and to really make a change with purpose, energy, resilience, because this is why we have him here, right? All about resilient conversations on and off the stage. So because you are so influential to the community and how much you have to offer, I want you to tell the people a little bit about yourself while they're trying to figure out about this whole back to school thing.
For real. What's good? Y'all already know who it is. P.HILL. That's my spiel right there.
Oh my goodness. I know it's more to you than that.
Definitely. Well, first and foremost, thank you for having me.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate the opportunity. We finally got here. I know we was trying to do this like a couple episodes ago, but we here now. The best things in life take time. But yeah, my name is P.HILL. I go by P.HILL. Like you said, I'm an entrepreneur. Father, born and raised right here in good old San Antonio, Texas, 210.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Born and raised.
Born and raised. It's the hometown hero.
Yep. I mean, that's what we need sometimes.
Yes, it's necessary. It's necessary. But yes, I'm the founder of All Hill Entertainment. That's my company.
Okay.
We've been in business for 15 years now. Founded in 2010. I work with the youth. I'm a real big youth advocate.
Okay.
So I do HBCU college tours. I founded the Who Runs the Rally Tour, which is a pep rally tour company. We toured different high schools. We go to different high schools throughout the football season, and we host their pep rallies.
Oh.
So you'll be seeing a lot of that coming up since it's football season now.
Okay. Make sure you invite me so I can come and see some of this stuff.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, we need to get this little live setup, this whole little setup we got here. We need that at the rally.
I got you.
But yeah, so we work with the youth real year round. So like I said, during football season in the fall, we're doing the pep rally tours, and then in the spring we do motivational speaking, going to schools, and then we do the HBCU college tour. We take like 50 kids to 13 different HBCUs around the U.S. So yeah, that's pretty dope.
I knew he was dope already, you know. When I met you, I was like, I gotta figure out who this dude is. So
I mean, I'm like I said, I'm a full-time entrepreneur. I also have a rental car business, like San Antonio Slingshot Rentals. So if y'all trying to rent out a slingshot, holler at your boy. You know, y'all can find us on Instagram too, SA Slingshot Rentals. But yeah, that's the 3-wheelers. Yes, I rent the slingshots. Yeah, I rent actual regular cars too. Go tour us. So if y'all need some car rentals, y'all can tap in with me.
let me tell you something. If I needed to know how to be an entrepreneur, I think I'm going to talk to.
Hey, no, I ain't gonna let you down. I ain't gonna let you down. I also rent out the moon bounces, you know, the party moon bounces for the kids. You know, can't go wrong with that. It's birthdays every day. So if y'all need some moon bounce rentals, holler at your boy. I got water slides, dry slides, which I need. I got it. And then I also manage the safety for the Houston Texans. Jimmy Ward, he's 12-year NFL veteran. So. Yeah.
So tell me a little bit more about that because I'm not as familiar.
So I pretty much do all his marketing, PR, endorsements. We just got him a big endorsement with Suave, the soap brand. Like that was the biggest thing that we did for him this past year. But yeah, so I'm in charge of that. Literally go out, reach out to these brands, and basically merge the gap on, you know, who I represent. How can I make this a win-win for their company and him, and then bring it together.
I just love how your mind works. That is awesome.
I'm a hustler.
So I see.
Yes.
If I didn't know nothing else, I just learned something today. So, with that being said, I know that back to school can mean a lot of things, especially because you have so much interaction with the youth, with the community. What does back to school mean to you when, in essence, when we're talking about resiliency?
It means it's fresh starts, you know, new beginnings, you know, getting to go with these kids that coming in and they getting to meet new people for the first time, meet new teachers, and then as well as for the teachers too. You know, the teachers are getting to meet these kids for the first time. But I feel like, you know, thinking back on it for myself, you know, it kind of nerve-wracking a little bit because, you know, I play sports as well too. So, you know, trying to make the teams and stuff like that. But, you know, when I back on it, it's like those situations kind of shaped me into who I am today. You know, because you got to meet new people when you go into new schools. And I went to 3 different high schools and like 16 different middle schools and elementaries. Cause my mom liked to move a lot. I wasn't bad. I wasn't no bad kid.
I mean, I'm right there with you. I think I went to 3 different high schools. I went to 2 different middle schools.
Was you military?
I was.
Okay. I wasn't military. My mom just liked to move. I literally stayed in 18 different houses when I graduated.
I mean, I probably wasn't too far because I think I went to probably 4 or 5 elementary schools. So
okay, see, so you get it.
I get it.
Yeah, you know that having to meet new people, you get comfortable with one group of people, and then you go to a new school, you gotta meet new people. But it's almost like the workplace too. Now that we're adults, you know, when you go into whether it's college or getting a 9-to-5 job, like you're gonna be working with new people. So you know, the kind of school kind of prepare you for it.
It does. You know, I think that's just being able to verbalize that and express it to children as they're growing and helping them to understand and get ready for those transitions.
Indeed.
But I think when we as adults don't know how to properly verbalize that, then it doesn't come across the same way to kids. They do not like the change.
Yeah, I definitely agree.
So when you talk about becoming an entrepreneur, how did you become an entrepreneur and a motivational speaker? I know you're a hustler, but how did the speaking come about?
So I used to sell travel memberships. So I used to work with this direct sales company. And so when I sold the travel memberships, I would do live PowerPoint presentations and I would post videos of me doing the PowerPoint presentations on social media. And so one of my coaches from high school, he seen the video, he seen me speaking. He was older white guy. He didn't watch the video. He just seen me speaking. So he just was like, he knew I was a leader in high school. So he was like, hey man, he called me. He's like, can you come back and can you come up here and talk to the football team? I'm like, all right, cool. So I went up there and he was telling me, it's funny because he was like, yeah, this is gonna be your first speaking gig and you're gonna be like this big speaker. And I was like, man, I don't know. Like I thought I was gonna retire, like when I'm retiring, like I was gonna be like a pastor or something, or do the motivational speaking. But when I went in there and did that for him, I'm in marketing, so I'm big on social media, so I recorded it. And so I posted it on social media, and then my friends from high school that's coaches now, they seen it. So the same thing. They started calling me, hey, can you talk to the kids at our school? Can you talk? So it just started trickling from there. And then I'm like, all right, well, I guess I can do this. Like, because it makes sense. With the direct sales company that I was doing, I wanted to be good at it. So I was watching a lot of videos on like, body language and, how to give effective presentations.
Okay.
So, I was studying leadership, and that's when I started doing personal development. So I started reading books and, just started learning about the mind. And I'm just like, okay, all of this can work together. I can do this. So that's how it came about.
Nice. I think I didn't go quite down that path. I think with me it was a little different. And I think because I was in the military, I was speaking all the time, and I was speaking to the new troops that were coming in to do on the job training. So because I had 8 different groups that I was responsible for. So every time each group has a new team come in, basically I'm training them, letting them know the expectations. And at the end, then I give a graduation presentation.
Right.
So they were like, oh, Sergeant Brick, you guys talk, you guys talk. So then it just became a part of who I am. And I think the reason why I say that is because whenever we're talking about who is speaking, I like to kind of give some insight to the people so they know who they're talking to.
Right.
And so when we're talking about back to school, people automatically just think about the younger kids usually. But there are adults that are going back to school later in life.
Right.
Trying to expound or expand on their career opportunities, or just so they can have a better chance at not working a regular 9-to-5, maybe become an entrepreneur. What are some of the biggest challenges that you see people face that they talk to you about?
Finances, just the mental part of it too. I feel like that's a real big thing that's not talked about a lot. But the mental portion of it, because you gotta, when you're going back to school, you have to, even as an adult, you have to create the schedule. Create your own schedule. And most people that's going back to school, they working as well too. So they got to try to find. They was maybe coming from a full-time job, and now they got to try to find part-time work. And the company, when I used to work with Facebook, that was one of the biggest things with people that was leaving. Was they were trying to find, how can I have to pay for school out of pocket, so how can I still work and go to school at the same time?
Right.
Like I want to get better, I want to make more money, but I can't not work. So, I think the finances and the mental that puts a stress on you too. With that.
Right.
And then if you have kids, babysitters. Now you got to pay for babysitters.
Right.
What's it called? The child care. You got to pay for that ain't cheap.
Right.
So I feel like all of those things put stress on people, and even down to the kids too. They be nervous. And then parents getting school supplies for themselves, for the kids. So all of that comes back to the mental portion of it too, though.
Right. I say the mental, and then also, like you said, the physical. So then with the mental, the physical, now the emotional side of if they're doing good, if they're not doing good in school, are they making their parents happy, especially the kids? I mean, and then as adults, are they fulfilling their own goals and aspirations? And how is that affecting them mentally, emotionally, spiritually? Do they feel like they are not worthy? Is usually the words that I'm hearing when I hear that. I think that when you're talking about the families, it's a whole. So if the father's going back to school, the mother's going back to school, the kids are going back to school, you got kids in middle school, some in high school, they're going through the emotional developmental changes. And now you're saying we're doing this as a family. How often do you see families doing it? And now everybody has their own set of stressors and goals and aspirations. And if one happens to fail in that family dynamic, do you think that makes a big difference? I
feel like that's not pretty common. I feel like that's a rare thing, but I feel like it's cool. Like to have that, I feel like it's dope because like with kids especially, like they need transparency from adults. That makes life more easier for them.
Right.
When they realize, like, when the parent is actually telling them, it's okay to fail. You human. That's what humans, you gonna fail. It's about what you learn from that failure.
Right.
So it's like that. But I feel like as a kid, like I have a 3-year-old and a 6-year-old, and so my 3-year-old, he not at school yet, but he wants to go to school because he see my 6-year-old going to school.
Right.
So it's like as when kids see you as the parent, you leading the way, doing something, going to school, there's motivation there. When you get out from school, the kids see you doing your homework, there's motivation there because now you leading by example. Parents can say anything,
right?
But people follow what you do, not what you say.
Absolutely.
So I feel like it'll make it easier, in a dynamic like that, to accomplish what you're trying to accomplish.
Right. Because they see, they like, oh, daddy got homework, mommy got homework. I want to go here, but they got homework just like I got homework.
Yeah, and you gotta stay.
And
you gotta stay.
And so then you got to train. They're seeing it, right? They have the opportunity of growth, and to expound on their own personal development. Now, how do you see schools adapting or not adapting to the needs of the student in 2025?
I feel like a lot of schools are doing a better job. So last year I hosted the NCAA Final Four, read to the Final Four, because Final Four was here in San Antonio. So
I remember.
It's a literacy program, and I was the face of it. What we did is like 28,000 students, and we pretty much did Final Four bracket style reading challenge. Where we started off with 28,000 students, and we started off with 300 schools, and then it came down to 4 schools. So it went from October all the way to April, and it's just like which third graders can read the most.
Wow.
So it's like little initiatives like that, that it can make a big difference because what we did was come in to these schools every week and we're doing pep rallies, getting the kids hyped up about reading and we did games and stuff. And, so it's like little stuff like that is good. I feel like that's, helping our educational system because it's tying it to basketball too, and, making it fun. And then also from doing that, so the schools, they have something called convocation. And pretty much this is like a pep rally, but for the teachers. Yeah, so all the districts do this, Yeah, so and if you got anybody in the administration, y'all need somebody to host that, holla at your boy.
Hey.
But yes, so the schools, they have a convocation and they do this, it's by district, and it's literally like a pep rally for, like I said, the teachers, and they come in. I haven't been to one yet, but I was talking to some superintendents last year about it and how it works and everything. But they bring in speakers, to come and talk to the staff, and they have music. Sometimes they have the band come in and play stuff, but it's literally a upbeat. Like I don't know how many hours it is, but it's an upbeat type of thing, and the goal of it is to get the teachers hyped up and ready for the school year. So I think that's pretty cool too.
I would love to at least be able to see that.
Yeah, you can actually go on YouTube and watch some of them because I was doing some homework on them. But yeah, I know Northside got some, SAISD have some, Southwest ISD, so you can get on YouTube and see them.
Okay, that sounds interesting in itself.
They just missing P.HILL. Yeah. Hey, and you know what? They do like women speakers panels too, so it is something you should actually look into. Okay. And they pay good.
I'm always down to speak. I mean, the pay, I didn't want to be like, yes.
I'm just saying.
Oh, you got me nice and close today, huh? Y'all want to see me today? Yeah, there it is. Okay. So, what do you think about for parents? What are some strategies to help the kids manage with those stress and transitions, especially those who have special needs children?
I think like journaling, journaling is good. Just communication first and foremost, just letting the kids know that they can communicate with them and be open and honest with them about things that's going on, how they're feeling. I think that's real powerful in itself. And yeah, those are two things.
Okay, so the journaling and then the communication, open communication.
Yep.
Now, what happens if the child is not as open to communication, or maybe have some nonverbals that are more so?
Paint. I mean, figure it out. Try different things. Even like with the communication, like it's all about the type of questions you ask. Like, because you could ask "How was your day?" and then get the response good. But then you can get more creative and you can ask a question like, what was the funniest thing that happened today?
Right.
You know, or if you could change one thing about today, what would you change?
Okay.
You know,
It's making sure that you have those open-ended questions.
right.
And
just different approaches. Don't don't ask the questions that's gonna give you yes and no responses.
Right.
You know, ask them open questions and make it fun.
Right.
You know.
And I think as adults, because we just get in our routines, so then making sure that we are open to finding ways to still be fun.
Right.
And of course, since I don't have children, but I've raised a lot of other people's children.
Right.
A lot of
you auntie.
Yes.
Auntie.
I'm auntie, or I was some man.
Okay.
There it is. So
Are you stepmama?
I was stepmama. I was the girlfriend that the ex didn't like because she was raising their kids. But in that time, I did have the opportunity to help raise children and to be impactful. And I felt like that was the time where I helped to get kids potty trained, teach them how to talk, how to verbalize what you're feeling, why you're feeling it, helping them to identify those things. So then when I say, well, what's wrong? Why do you feel that way? Or why are we crying? Can you tell me why you're crying? Not just because it hurts, but because you're in trouble. It's because you don't want to get a whooping, or you're not, whatever their reasons are.
Yeah, that's powerful.
Getting them to be able to express those feelings and emotions and understanding them is so big for me.
Yeah.
So what role does resiliency play in academic success?
It's important. I feel like it plays a big role because, like I was talking about earlier, like making the sports team. You know, you might not make the team. You know, so you got to overcome that. You know, or even with dance team or friendships, you know, you got to overcome it with friendships too. You know, it might be stuff that you go through with friends and people. Oh, especially in high school, really just in all grade school. You know, it'd be so much drama going on, but it's like you have to overcome that. You know, and that helps you become a stronger person and molds who you are as an adult as well too. So yeah, it's definitely real big in the schools.
Yeah, I think when I think about my resiliency and going to school, because like we went to different schools, the transition of that and being able to say we might be friends today, and 6 months from now I might be at a different school. But understanding that the communication or those friendships or any type of ships, whatever they were, whatever type of ships. There it is.
Oh, that
right there. You notice that if it's there, then great, and if it doesn't, then this was just the chapter that you were supposed to be a part of.
Right.
And then the next chapter, not so much. And you have to understand that that's just life. And when you are not expected to say, why isn't this person still my friend, or why didn't I get these classes? What did you do to earn it, or what did you do to keep it? What did you do to make sure that you are obtaining the goal that you had set for?
Yeah.
And so what about the personal growth and resiliency? What do you think? Because you have to grow personally, but the resiliency of that growth is not always an easy, smooth, straight line. It's usually crooked, up, down, in some pits, up some mountains, through some valleys, up to space, and back down to the core of the earth. However you look at it, when you're talking about personal growth and resiliency, how do you identify them?
As far as like how to build it, what you're trying to say. What I do is I call it the 30-day blitz. You know?
Okay.
So for 30 days, I give up music and TV. I don't watch no music. I don't watch no TV. I don't listen to no music for 30 days. And I do this a couple of times a year. And so I replace it with audios and sermons and, you know, audio books. When I say audios, or YouTube, and just things that I want to learn, you know. So like if I feel like, you know, I want to learn more about the emotion of loneliness or anger or sad, you know, I just get on YouTube, you know, how to overcome anger, you know, what is anger? And it's like, we know what these things are, you know, but it's like, let me see what the actual definition of these things is. And then if you go on YouTube and type that, you know, what is anger? You know, what is fear? There's thousands of pages of videos where it's people that's talking about this stuff. So for 30 days, I'm I'm just like a sponge, just listening to this. In my car, ain't no music on in the car. You ride it with me, we not listening to music. I'm on 30 Day Blitz.
Right.
You know, we getting better.
Okay.
You know, so I'm just listening to this stuff. And so the idea of it is, you know, we listen to music over and over, you learn the words of the song. You know, so it's the same thing. If you listening to these successful people talk and these lessons, you're gonna start thinking the way they think and understanding, you know, the stuff that they talk about. So that's how I develop it.
I love it. I do listen to audiobooks and I do a lot of self-help books as well. And then I also do a lot of reading. I do a lot of, so then I pick here, pull there, and then I say, okay, now take the meat, spit out the bones. What is it that I needed to hold for me and for me to internalize it and make it a part of who I am and what I do and how I operate. And I think that's a big thing, not just for, you know, education wise, but personal growth. So what can the educators and parents model? How can they model resiliency for the student?
Like we talked about earlier too, you know, transparency, being transparent, you know, and letting them know it's okay to fail. Like it's okay to not be okay, you know, but let's talk this through, you know, and just do it by example. Let them, you know, even if it's not a situation like what we talked about earlier, where they're all in the same household, but you can use, as a parent, you can use those examples of when I was in high school, this happened, and this is how I overcame this. Right. You know, because it lets them know, like, okay, mommy and daddy not perfect. Because most kids look at their parents like they super parents, you know, super
they're heroes.
Yeah, and it's okay, but you got to understand that. And then with that understanding, you have these honest conversations with them, like it's okay.
Right.
You know.
Right. And that's a big thing, I think, because how do I show that my resiliency, that there were times, like you said, I failed, even in education. So what the crazy thing is, I still have my report cards. I got some report cards from elementary school.
That's crazy.
Because I was like, well, if I am ever blessed to have a child, I want to be able to show them. Like, I had a C right here. History is not my strong point either. But this is how we gonna overcome that. So
that's different.
Yeah. Well, my mom found it. She was like, "You want it?" I'm like, "Yeah, I want that." Yeah. I mean, even though I don't have children, if I was to marry somebody who had children or whatever the case, I wanted to be able to be that transparent parent. You know, to show, hey, there's some things that I'm good at, and there's some things I'm not, and that's okay. So let's find out what your strengths are instead of calling them things that you're failing at. Let's say they're challenges, and how do we overcome those challenges? They're just hurdles in life.
I know that's right. You fine.
Yeah. All right. Any specific habits? You just told me that you do the 30-day blitz. Do you do any other habits or routines that help you to become a more resilient you?
No, that's the main thing. You know,
you make me want to try this 30-day blitz thing.
It's not trying, it's just do it. You got to pretend sponsored by Nike, just do it. And see, the thing is, you got 365 days in the year. So it's like the mindset you have to have is like, okay, can I grind for a season of my life to be better? Because 1 + 1 is 2. And so the reality of the situation is, it's like, okay, when you watch TV, you watching people live their life. They making money off of you. When you listen to music, you listen to people tell you about the life that they live. They making money off of you. And so the reality is, if you replace that with these personal development audio books, book is people teaching you how to get what they got, teaching you how to think the way that they think. You know, so these is lessons. So like I said, 1 + 1 is 2. So it's like the reality is, if you for just 30 days of your 365 days, for just 30, how much discipline you got?
There it is. That's the key word right there.
Hello. So that's like for just 30 days. If you do this for 30 days, are you going to get better? Yeah. Absolutely. The answer is yes.
Absolutely.
So it's like, why not?
But it's because the key word there was discipline, and a lot of us do not have discipline. There are some things I'm very disciplined in, and there's other things that that's my challenge. That's the hurdle that I'm still trying to figure out how to get over. And like you said, it's not about trying, it's about doing. And so what am I doing to prepare myself to get over that hurdle? Not always an easy task, right? So with my resiliency, then I have to go to people that have already done that and look at what they've done, listen to what they said to do, and then recalculate. Okay, I thought I was gonna be able to get over this hurdle. I missed it by about 1 inch. Whatever I'm doing to practice so I can get over it on the next opportunity.
Right. And come back to your why. What's your why? Why am I doing this? Why did I start this? Because then when you feel like giving up or not doing it, come your discipline, you think about your why. You know, so you got to have a strong enough why to do it. When you say, okay, I'm going to do this 30-day blitz, why am I going to do this 30-day blitz? Right. What's your why? You know what I'm saying? And then, like I said, when you think about quitting, you think about that why, write it down. Take a look at it. Put it on your phone, on your screensaver on your phone. Right. My why. Why. And then you just come back to that why. Because, you know, who just said, was it Eric Thomas? I think he said, oh, yeah.
That's what I was listening to today.
Yeah, he real big on the why. You know? And then, but one of my other mentors, you say, like, your why don't make you cry. It ain't big enough.
There it is. You know? Yeah, I said, that's just like when I was writing my goals, and I was like, if your goals don't make you scared, it's not big enough.
Right.
And so now my goals have now turned into my whys. Instead of me calling them goals, what is my why? So I have my big whys, and under my whys, what are my action plans to get there?
I know that's right.
I thought about action plans.
I know that's right.
Hey. All right. So back to school, that we talked about can be overwhelming. The mental practices that help with that. What type of support do you recommend for mental health?
I recommend, like, I call it a counsel. You know, having people that you can confide in, you know, that's going to tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. You know, just people that you know you can go to and talk to, even if it's one person, you know, but you can be honest with it. You can be vulnerable with, you know, and let them know, you know, how you're feeling and why you're feeling this way, and get some good advice, you know, and be careful about who. Obviously, you don't want to just talk to anybody, you know. But, you know, you want to make sure it's people that can pour into you. You don't want to be doing all the pouring.
Right.
You want them to be able to pour into your cup and pour value into your cup, not just garbage.
Right.
You know.
Look at you. Come on in. I wanted to also mention, Mr. Gordon said, how is funding from school affecting and then I don't see the rest of it. Mr. Gordon, can you finish the rest of your sentence, or maybe I'm just not seeing it? How is funding from school affecting and I'm wondering what that last part is. Just so I can make sure we answer your question on this side. And those that are on Instagram, if you can let me know, because it's going to show across the bottom screen. I mean, we can go there and see if it shows. Nope. Those that are on Instagram, if you can let us know if you can see us. So that way I can know, because I don't see y'all. Oh, no. All right. So once we can get it, we'll get it reposted on Instagram if you are not on Instagram, because it looks like you don't see it. That's okay. I just wanted to make sure that we are giving y'all what y'all need on all platforms. I know that we've been having some issues with Instagram, so no worries. We'll make sure and get that reposted for you soon.
Yeah, you can see it on Instagram.
You can?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, awesome. Now, what type of classrooms, if you had the opportunity to design a classroom, what type of classrooms would you create for the students to learn best in?
When you say what type, like what you saying, like
what kind of things would you have in your classroom?
Leadership. I'll be real big on leadership, you know, goal setting, like, you know, that'd be my first homework assignment that I'm sending to the school. We're gonna create a goal. You know, make sure you know what a goal is. I'm real big on teaching intention, you know, being intentional and doing things on purpose, you know. I feel like that's a lot of what's lacked in our society, you know, is setting goals, being intentional, understanding, having a purpose and understanding how that's biblical right there, you know. But yeah, those 4 things, you know. So I'd have activities built around those, you know, helping people understand, you know, that they are a leader and why they are a leader, and if they're following, make sure they following the right people that's doing things that they want and that it's the right things, you know. But just understanding, you know, I'm real big on that.
Okay. Now, what I do like is making sure that people know that you're a leader on all aspects. So when I used to teach it for the Air Force, my big thing was you're a leader no matter if you are a E1 or you're E9, no matter if you're a O1 or a O6, you are still a leader right where you are because I am expecting you, right, to lead exactly who you are, the whole aspect of who you are, to lead you first before I expect you to lead others. And so they're like, right, but then what if they don't follow me? So they're leading themselves to follow after the example that you're giving them.
Right.
Make sure you're setting the right example. And so whenever we are talking about growing, I have no idea what that one is. Making sure that we are growing, then you're having the opportunity to know this is where I'm growing to. And I don't want to just say going, but you're growing to. This is where I'm growing to. And this is where I have removed myself and uprooted myself for better learning, better opportunities, better growth, better development, better leadership even for myself. So making sure you're surrounding the people with where you want to go, surrounding yourself around with the right people who are doing the right things. And I think that's big too for children and adults, because as adults, we also have to uproot ourselves from some of the friends, family, situations, jobs even that are not getting us to where we need to go when we're trying to reach our goals. And that's hard whenever you like, I still got a family to feed, I got this to do, that to do. How do you go about doing it? What advice would you give the students about staying motivated? Because you can start off strong. It's just like with a run. For me, I am not a runner. I know you run.
I don't like running. I do it though, but I hate running.
So that starting out, I'm like, okay, girl, you just got to get to this point. Even when I ran track, I'm like, put me on the straightaway because when I hit that curve, it's gonna be a problem. I'm like, I got short legs, short, thick legs. I can't do all that curve stuff. But to stay motivated, usually I've thought about it when we ran track. When I ran track, that was a big thing to have somebody saying, "You can do it. You're almost there. Go, 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 go." Having that motivation all the way from the stands, people I didn't know, still giving me that support system. How would you give someone motivation from your standpoint?
How would I give them, like, teach them self-motivation? I would say setting goals. It's like it's important to have little small goals, short-term goals, because them small wins boost up confidence, and they compound into big wins.
Right.
So definitely setting small goals, and then we talk about it just a while ago too, the why. What's your why? That's important because that's going to refuel you, recharge you when you're not feeling motivated. You think about that why, like, why am I doing this? So why, your why, and then setting them small goals so you have some small wins that turn into big wins.
Okay. Now, when you talk, I know that you said you used to do sports. What type of sports did you do?
Football and track.
Oh, so you touched on the track thing. You already understood.
Yeah.
Now with the
district champion.
Oh, see, I'm like, I'm just gonna be on the team just so I can have something to do.
I used to eat that curve up, get on that lean.
I'm like, this too much lean. I'd be like, I'm like dragging this wagon is heavy. The problem. She's sick of me already. I'm sick of it. All right, what resources do you have for those that are trying to get educated, and those that want to be educated and motivated, so that way they can still help in their community? What resources or advice would you give?
YouTube University is free, and we got ChatGPT now too. You can get on AI, and AI be a counselor too. Literally, whatever you want to know, it's on there. So
it's true. Between
them two things, you good. You good to go. It ain't no excuse. Excuses are results. You can't have both. So you want the results or you gonna make excuses? How bad you want it?
Okay. Once again, going back to your why. So your excuses are like belly buttons. There we go. That's a safe one. Everyone has one.
And they all stink. I know what you're gonna get at.
If you don't take care of it appropriately, then you end up with a rather unpleasant
odor.
There it is. Shut up! I A politically correct word.
Right.
So yes,
We knew what you meant.
fair enough. All right. What gives you hope about the future for schools and students right now?
Just like the programs I talked about, there's changes happening.
Mhm.
You know,
Even at the HBCUs?
even at the HBCUs. I mean, I love our college tours because some of the colleges, it'd be my first time going to these HBCUs. And I didn't do no college tour when I was in high school. So it's like, I'd be excited. You know, I'd be ready to go back. Oh, I wish I could go back. You know? But yeah, I mean, it's amazing. You know, when we take them kids into these schools, a lot of these kids, it's their first time leaving the state, first time touching college campus, you know. So it's like, even like me, I didn't know what a fraternity or sorority was until I was already in college.
Right.
But it's like, even when we go and we take these kids, sometimes they get to see probates. You know, my partner that I do it with, he's a captain. So a lot of the connections that the things that we do at these colleges is based off of resources. You know, his brothers, you know, that's at Kappas at different schools we go to, or just, you know, me meeting people on social media, you know, that's like the MCs or radio personalities or in theater, you know, just networking on social. Hey, we bringing these kids over here. So being able to walk them through the campus and they can see, we always run into the Mr. and Mrs. of whatever school that we at. You know, and it usually be campaign week, so they be campaigning, you know, so the students get to see all of that. It's dope. You know, they hear the different students talk with so much passion and, you know, why they chose this HBCU, why they should come to an HBCU. And, you know, every HBCU is the baddest HBCU in the land.
Everywhere.
And so it's just dope. We recorded too, so we have a docu-series on YouTube from it. You know, one of our goals is to get it actually turned into a TV show. You know, get on Netflix, Hulu. You know, but yeah, it's awesome, man. It's pretty dope. So
I'm excited. Now I need to be like, I just want to tag along just so I can see. You need a chaperone?
Yeah, hey, we do be taking chaperones.
Damn, because I'm the one on the next. My HBCU experience was different. North Carolina, man, I was just saying.
And so we doing two this year. We doing one that's across the South and then one like East Coast. You know, so North Carolina is on the map.
When I went there, it was not what was on the advertisement. That's all I'm gonna say. But my experience, I mean, I ran into people that I went to a high school with in Colorado, and I'm like, what are you doing here in North Carolina? So everything works out the way it's supposed to. It was still an experience before I joined the military, and that's how I ended up here. San Antonio was not where I thought I would be. However, everything works out the way it's supposed to be. Indeed. What's a message you want to leave with the platform, the audience, to help them prepare for the new school year from pre-K all the way up through doctoral college?
Be intentional. Do it on purpose. Know your why. And remember, in life, you got excuses or results. You can't have both. For real.
I like a little excuse result. I'm just kidding. I don't want to get no whooping online. That is our time. I know that I went over. Y'all know how I do usually. I hope that you enjoyed tonight's show. I hope that tonight we have given you something to really think on how to jumpstart your resiliency, on equipping you with the tools and the support that you need for your current life, your future experiences, and even those for the generations to come. It's all about knowing who you are, how to get there, understanding your why, understanding what you need in order for you to be intentional. So if we have said something that has touched you or could help someone else, all I ask is it only takes a second to do. However, it will mean the world to me. Like, subscribe, make sure you hit the notification bell so we can continue to grow together. This isn't just a today thing and then forget it tomorrow. This is a continuous growing for your personal growth. And then that can also help with your interactions with others around you. So in the chat, if you could put some hands down there in the chat, we want to thank Mr. P.HILL for coming out. Today has been amazing, wonderful. I can't wait to have you on future shows where we can talk more in depth, but I know how passionate you are about the youth and the community and schools. So it just seemed fitting as school started again to make sure that you were on tonight's show.
For sure. And I appreciate you.
Yeah.
I appreciate y'all tuning in too.
Yes. Tell the people how they can follow you, how they can stay connected to you. I know you got a lot of platforms.
All HILL Entertainment on every social media platform. All HILL Entertainment. Y'all can follow my company, my personal LinkedIn, Facebook, Patrick Stud Hill, and my Instagram is WhatUpHill, WADDUP_HILL. For real. Yeah, but y'all can find me through my All HILL Entertainment if y'all didn't remember that. Yeah, All HILL Entertainment. Good words.
Okay, now I got to go and follow all this stuff because I didn't know about that, y'all.
She didn't do her homework.
He didn't get it to me.
She wasn't being intentional.
I was asking questions and then I was waiting to see what he wanted to give me, so I didn't seem like I was trying. I'm gonna work on it though. You got me next time. I'll be on everything now.
Okay.
So make sure that y'all come back. My R2C team, my Real Resilient Conversation crew, thank y'all so much for everything that you do. We're going to have this on rebroadcast. I know that tonight is a tough night. Or tonight, I believe that tonight was the first night for some of people going back to college too. So a lot of my people, they're just busy getting their kids off to school. But I want you to come back on 8th of September. 8th of September, we are going to be discussing part 1 of the have or have nots. And I know y'all like, what in the world? What does that have to do with resiliency? So make sure you come back and figure out what the have and the have nots has to do with resiliency. Remember, it's a thing to be good when you've been called to be great. So until then, please return at the same time, the same place, with the same face in the same space. Love, peace, joy, and happiness. I pray to you and those around you. Be the change that you want to see in the world. Until then, see you soon.
Hey, that was a bar.
That was a bar.
You got to rhyme and I started to drop.
In a world that's always evolving, where challenges come at the speed of change, resilience isn't just a buzzword, it's the foundation for growth and success. Welcome to Real Resilient Conversations.
Every second and fourth Monday at 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, we bring you transformative discussions designed to build strength through dialogue. Whether you're a leader aiming to inspire, a team striving to collaborate, or an individual professional seeking growth, Real Resilient Conversations is your guide to thriving in today's dynamic environment.
Our mission is clear: foster emotional resilience, cultivate transparent communication, and empower businesses to adapt with confidence. Through our resilient leadership coaching, we don't just talk about resilience, we live it, lead it, and help you achieve it. When resilience becomes part of your culture, every challenge is an opportunity, every setback a lesson, and every team member a leader in their own right.
Real Resilient Conversations isn't just a show, it's a movement, a mindset, and a community dedicated to helping you and your organization thrive. Tune in every second and fourth Monday at 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, and see the difference resilience makes. Be part of the movement and join the conversation live. Watch us on Twitch, Real Resilient Convos. Follow us on Facebook, Real Resilient Conversations with Quita Qui. Get inspired on Instagram at Real Resilient Conversations. Catch our videos on YouTube at Real